to the Bad Fanfiction Night. I am your host, Ryan McNeil, and not joining us once again is the wonderful Twilight Guardian. She is currently out and about at a rather poignant family dinner, so it is perfectly fine that she will either be not here or she will be late, all things considered. But, that's okay. If I get tired, I know nothing is a pinch hitter if we need it. Low volume, Raymond. Oh god, is it on the wrong mic again? Let me find out. Haha!
Yes, it is. Why do you keep doing that, Streamlabs? I am getting really pissed with you.
I don't think the stream can hear us, can it?
That's what I'm fixing right now.
And I just realized I've been muted this whole time.
No!
There we go. Oh, Jesus Christ, Streamlabs. Jesus Christ. Is there a way I can just permanently set that? Or what is it always going to be that whenever I, disconnect anything? Jesus.
I assumed it was
Go to the
something you could
office.
standardize.
Anyway, in the last episode, Dalen literally pissed off the cops and got away scot-free. Like, everything about that entire conclusion of the last chapter was a level of infuriating that somehow we hadn't reached yet, and that is fundamentally impressive. I don't know what to say about this book, but it just keeps pissing me off at every conceivable way.
Why do we
Good.
read it?
It'll get
We
worse.
don't know.
Oh Christ!
Oh,
How?
my
Okay, I'm not
favorite.
gonna. Don't answer that.
Also remember, Auric has now decided that he's ride or die for Dalen.
Emphasis on the ride.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. Like, he was they were confronted by the police, and Dalen was like, "Oh, I'll just get arrested, and I'll be out in a couple of days, and if I need to, I can break out of prison." Which, wow, wonderfully moral, my friend. Absolutely just wonderful moral compass. Let me not actually just sit with the police and talk things through. But then on top of that, he saw the Lightbringers that were coming in, or whatever they're called, the Arch Knights. And he's like, oh no, those guys can actually fucking arrest me. They'll drag me back to their fucking temple and indoctrinate me into their cult. I don't want that. So he prepped himself to leave, which triggered them sensing that and attacking him to prevent him from fleeing the scene of a crime. It then resulted in a scuffle that he ended up basically winning, and Auric stepped in to save him when it was challenging him. And Dalen was just like, all right, peace out, Auric. You told me to leave. I'm going to leave now. So,
Our
yeah.
protagonist, ladies and gentlemen.
I was
Yeah.
going to say, Sir Dalen ran away. He bravely ran away, Sir Dalen.
Oh,
Oh, brave Sir Dalen.
And away.
And Shad's like, I did not. I did not. He did not. He did not.
Tactical
Maybe-
retreat.
This book sucks,
Also
by the way,
Discord.
guys.
Oh,
yeah,
it
speaking of the
sucks.
book, it's not streaming in Discord.
Right. Thank you for reminding me. I was too busy yelling at Geo.
Ah, yes, sticky bread.
The book sucks. In other words, the grass is green.
Yay!
That is the biggest shock of this entire.
I just feel bad for the people that like really, really love it, quote unquote. It's like, guys, Jesus.
Like unironically or ironically.
Probably
Mupa
both.
said, and also asking us to consider, yeah, Hitler was bad, but what about all the good he did? I'll go back. I love the concept of a book challenging us to think more critically about the most horrible people in existence and actually think about the nature of their humanity and, like, if they had redeeming aspects to them, even within the horrible things they committed. I think that's a fascinating and morally challenging concept for a novel. This is not the novel to do it.
Not at all.
It's like,
Trust me, pal. You're not that guy.
yeah, no, and like I remember on stream, Shad saying, "Oh, you gotta start like you gotta be careful with the first book you start with. That really sets the tone for your entire career." And you know, when I first heard that and I didn't know anything about his book, I was like, "Oh man, I really dropped the ball on my first book and all that. Like, oh man, my reputation and all that." I've read his book now, at least 66% of the way through. I'm feeling less and less bad about it, and I actually am much and much less taking his frickin' word on what any of that actually means.
You looking at your first book.
Turns out
perhaps
he
I treated
wasn't lying, but not for the reasons he said.
Yeah, my very first book is cringe. My second book is, not really like not exciting it's not like world shattering. It's just a small little fantasy romp. It's leagues better than sending the message of whatever the fuck this book is. I actually don't know what kind of message to get from this book.
There is a final message I can give, but the alpha pin remains, so I shall not say anything.
I would have assumed anyone can be redeemed, except your bastard pirate kings or whatever.
Yeah, no, I absolutely any kind of like. That's the thing about this book. Any kind of message it wants to send so far has been absolutely fucking contradicted. And this goes back to actually what we discussed on the Team Jack podcast, which you can watch at every single Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We discussed this last time because we were talking about Just Right's video on Legend of Korra and how when you're sending a message, when you're trying to explore themes and you're trying to explore more like ideological concepts, it's always wise to challenge the ideological concept. Like that's what really makes a story engaging, is having two contradictory ideological concepts come into conflict and trying to find resolution between them, or at least making the audience think about it and trying to challenge them to come to a resolution themselves. That's a really wise thing to do. That's usually a really good, strong storytelling technique. But if you do it wrong, you just present a mishmash of conflicting ideas that don't actually have any kind of bite or discussion to them. It's just sort of like, yeah, I guess that's happening now. So, yeah.
Oh my god. Alrighty then.
Well, starting off the night good, I see.
That's us starting off on the right foot. All right. Well, we have 6 pages in this chapter, 10 in the next. So we'll.
Who did that?
That was your one.
You ruined it.
But yes,
I regret nothing.
6 pages this chapter, 10 next chapter. So we'll see how far we make it. I will persevere and see what happens. Chapter 34. The Loran Empire honored their treaty with me, and they were easily the strongest nation after my own at the time. They were all too happy to use the might of the Dawn Empire to settle their disputes with Leon Ta. But the Lorians were growing too powerful, and I had been betrayed too many times by the other nations to let it happen again. Thus, after I subdued Delevai and Frey, I chose to engage the Lorians on my own terms and turned on them during a large battle in the Great Rift, an act now called the Grate Betrayale. Like, okay, now we're finally adding, like, morally black things to his record. Finally.
Took a bit.
Yeah, it took, like, literally 2/3 of the way through his backstory.
I mean, to be fair, there was the rape was pretty black.
No. You need to understand what I mean here.
Early.
Because this story thinks that, like, he can't make an excuse for this. He's not trying to make an excuse for this. He's actually being self-critical in this memoir. So it's...
He's gonna fuck it up.
That kind of sounds like a bad idea to give yourself 2 enemy fronts at the same time in the middle of a battle. Yeah, but it's Dalen, so he's just gonna win.
He'd like that.
I
Yes.
believe the reference here is supposed to be Shad saying something similar to what Napoleon did.
Oh yeah, because
But-
Napoleon was a strategic genius at the end of his tenure.
I know, exactly.
Hey Celtic, did you see who's going to be in the new Resident Evil game? Yes. And I wish I hadn't been spoiled on it. I don't want any spoilers for Resident Evil 9. And people keep...
Also, you have
What?
2 super chats as well from Random Fandom.
Oh god, I completely forgot about them because we're starting the stream. Random Venom says, exclamation point, cast eggnog, and then follows that up with whoops typo on the spell casting. Now the eggnog can cast. Don't drink any, question mark.
Too late.
But yeah, I did see who's going to be in the next Resident Evil game. I didn't see any of the actual gameplay. I've stayed away from all of the trailers since the first major ones. So I want to go into that entirely blind and stream it for everyone. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. Anyway, Arik struggled to his feet as the dust began to settle. The constables held their shooters with both hands, looking utterly stunned. Arik could understand the hesitation. Both Arknights and Lightbringers had certain privileges in society, and thus things got very confusing when an Archknight or Lightbringer broke a law, or, as was evidently possible, fought each other. Which could be also breaking the law because assault is typically against the state, so, you know. What was the legal recourse? Arrest both of them. Problem solved. Arik's chest ached. Normally it would take a fall to recover from what happened, his invisible hold having been overpowered. Luckily, he could heal himself. Arik did so, and the pain left. I'm glad that was noted. What the female knight had done should have been impossible. Somehow, she possessed the miracle of creation. That was the only way she could have created that Sunforge, wasn't it? Oh, Shad, you and your gendered politics giving the woman the power of creation. I see what you did there.
That sounds so normal.
Oh my.
I mean, I know Arik has it, but we all know he's already...
Yeah.
Look. We already know what kind of person that he thinks Arik is.
Yeah.
I don't even know what I mean by that, but Shad knows what I mean by that. And how did Dalen know this woman's name? Yeah, why did Dalen say this woman's name? That seemed like a really dumb idea. Arik stood and walked to her. She was just now getting to her feet, covered in debris and dust, but otherwise appearing uninjured, which was incredible considering how much force Arik had put into the blow. She glanced about intently. He's gone, Arik said. You, she hissed. What have you done? Assisted a friend, if not saving his life. More like assisting your master. To be honest about it, Arik. Arik said, walking to the other fallen knight. The woman's blue eyes shook with rage. I wouldn't have killed him. The emphasis there is, I wouldn't have killed him. I feel like the emphasis should be on killed. Am I wrong on that, guys?
Wait, what?
No, that sounds more accurate.
Yeah, it should
Yeah,
be.
killed should have been emphasized.
Yeah.
You had lost control. And you hadn't? Bringer, you attacked an Archknight. I botched that word. Ugox, if I recall, Napoleon sent Polish soldiers to Haiti to quell Haitian rebellion. They turncoat to the side of the Haitian fighting for independence of their land. So, yep.
Uh-huh.
Arik knelt and began healing the other knight, feeling his inner light being drawn upon and channeled through his body. His inner light couldn't be exhausted no matter how much he drew upon it, but his body was limited to how much light he could channel through it. It was possible How many fucking rules are there, Shad? Jesus Christ!
Rule number 302.
Infinite.
I honestly have a note in my book that just says, okay, another rule. Can I ignore this one too?
I am so fucking fed up with how goddamn detailed he gets about how his fucking precious magic system works. It is just sickening to me. I have to keep reaching. Oh, it was so different. It did this thing. Oh, I had to do this thing. He had to focus on this, but couldn't do this. I don't care. Just say he healed her. Just say he healed her. He had enough to heal her. One sentence. One fucking sentence and be done with it.
No, it has to be impressive how strong this dude guy is with the magic power, inner light.
Yeah, as if being able to miraculously heal their wounds isn't already impressive enough.
It has to be impressive in a super manly way.
This book makes you ask every question. I'm sorry.
This makes me think of the immortal words. It's magic. We don't have to explain it.
Like, I love exploring magic systems. I really do like having detail for it. But remember the rule I set up back all the way in the beginning of Fixing Ruby. All the detail I laid out in those lore videos were almost purely for the sake of the writer. It was almost purely, hey, the writer should know this, and these things should be fundamentally observable in the show, but that doesn't mean that we need to stop every fucking paragraph and go into exorbitant detail about it. Nameless says, I bring good tidings, Ace Combat 8 related things. They announced Ace Combat 8. I know, I'm hyped for it. I wish they had announced Armored Core, but, you know, I'll take the win where I can get one. His inner light couldn't be exhausted no matter how much he drew upon it, but his body was limited to how much light he could channel through it. It was possible to reach a point where he couldn't be able to channel at all until he rested. I used enough force as was necessary to the task, Arik said to the fuming woman. And because of that, you're guilty of assault and obstruction. Actually, guilt is determined by trial, which I'll happily attend to explain my action. One moment.
You good on that?
Yikes.
Guilt is a moral emotion that occurs when a person believes or realizes, accurately or not, that they have compromised their own standards of conduct or have violated universal moral standards and bear significant responsibility for that violation. Guilt is closely related to the concepts of remorse, regret, and shame. Guilt is an important factor in perpetuating obsessive-compulsive disorder symptoms. So that's a left turn for that statement. But
yeah, I was going to say, where'd that coming from?
I'm reading this from the Wikipedia.
I figured.
But yeah. So, that's...
Never mind.
That's the definition of guilt. I know you're trying to refer to guilt in the legal sense, but no. You are guilty of assault. You have committed that. That is a thing you did. Even... what you need to say is that it was justified, but you did that, Arik. Shut the fuck up.
You know, I'll be honest. After this, man, Orc just sucks. Well, I wouldn't say it was great to begin with, but wow,
Was that English?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Ed Stavinsky says, let's check the scroll. One of the scroll ends roll off the edge of the flying airship and hit the earth. True. Fact check true. You honestly think that what you've done is justified? Still guilty. Yes. The Teresa Knight said, yeah, actually, I just want one last note on that. When you enter a self-defense plea, guys, I want you to understand this. You are admitting guilt. If your self-defense plea fails, you are found guilty immediately. That's how that works. It's a fucking high-risk, high-reward type defense. So, yes, fuck you, Arik, you're guilty. The Teresa Knight sat up, speaking in his native language. Yarg, I'm so stupid. That's his native language now. It had been a while since Arik had heard his parents' tongue spoken aloud. The now healed knight looked to his companion and asked in Hamharan, Where? The bringer knocked me down, and the boy escaped. The Teresa Knight looked to Arik, horrified. Cirium, why? Arik rose. Because, my friend, is guilty of no crime, apart from pretending to be the member of your orders. That I wouldn't put past him. Still even, there was no need for the Order's presence. Arik, are you brain dead?
Are you drunk?
Oh, yeah. Hey, I'm just going to go around and say I'm a fucking cop in order to get certain benefits. That's a crime!
What happened?
That is a fucking crime, Shad!
Oh my god. Like, Arik, why are you min-maxing your rap speed, Arik? Why?
Oh, God. Especially because in this society, unquestioned, people provide free food, housing, clothing for arch knights, for lightbringers. You can walk up to someone on the fucking street and say, hey, can you give me a free donut? And Billy Donuts will say, hey, I was going to give you one anyway. You didn't have to ask. And then you just take the donut and leave, which actually destroys the point I'm trying to make because Billy Donuts is a good person. But if you walked up to any other donut salesman and said that, they would have no choice but to give it to you. That's a really long-winded say that, yes, we should probably prosecute people who impersonate Lightbringers and Archknights.
Nah. Let him do what he wants.
I mean, there's also the murder.
Yeah, but Arik doesn't.
Are
Arik
we just gonna
didn't
pretend that
admit to
David
that.
did
Like,
not
I need to take. There's several layers to this. The first layer is that Arik openly admitted that Dalen committed a crime, and he's trying to wave it off as no big deal. That's a huge point. But second, he is completely omitting the many other numerous crimes that he has committed that he could also justify away, for the record. Like murder.
All I can think about is that one chick from Monty Python and the Holy Grail who's about to get drowned and just saying, "This is fair, cop."
May I also point out that evading arrest is a crime.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Now, the thing that Shad can use to quote-unquote defend himself is say, well, it's my world, my rules, my laws, and I'm just going to look. I bet you, if we dig through all of human history, there is going to be some equivalent to almost all of these laws going back to Christianity, if not further. Now,
I can name half of them, actually.
Code of Harambe.
Oh, go. You know what?
Harambe.
So, the whole thing with the law of justification is built on Solomonic law all the way back for like the whole eye for an eye type law that was actually implemented. Like it's a perversion of it, but that's effectively what he's talking about. I think he's said something like that before. However, do not quote me on this. I do not like Shad, but remember, we should make fun of him for what he has actually said 100% certainty. This might just be hearsay. Secondly, the bit of sheltering / giving quarter to high members of society. This is big in noble privilege. And when I say noble privilege, I mean the sense that when a king comes into a different court, different land, it is very customary for people to, in olden days, I believe Middle Eastern, don't quote me on that one in particular, to basically give the king's gifts for basically showing up. It's why in the biblical tradition of the wise men giving the gifts to Jesus, it's basically them giving him the customary gifts of a king that should be granted, if that makes sense.
Okay.
And there are among others, but I don't want to keep ranting.
But you know, it's just Shad has perverted actual law so much. Yugok says, my friend is not guilty of any crime except this crime he did commit, cause logic of character previously established by his moral compass here. Yes. Izanagi, couldn't Dalen be tried for excessive use of force in resolution of conflict or situations? Seriously, ripping someone's phallus seems like it. Yeah. Yeah, typically
Also,
speaking, in
to pronounce-
self-defense, you have to have a reasonable amount of reciprocal force.
But
Also,
do they
you
even
pronounce
know about
phallus
that?
is phallus?
Continuity error. There. I was trying to find a good quote by Phaelus in my brain.
But
All right.
Do they even know that happened?
I know. Someone on the ship would have to tell them, in which case, no. Unless it's Arik, who can't lie, for the record.
Except
Didn't
omission.
that happen in the city too?
Yeah, he has to lie by omission, which is still lying, Shad. Oh. Where did I even leave off? We got a rant in there. Cerium, why? Oh, there's... With this power, there is no chance that regular law enforcement could subdue him. You would have to subdue him if he resisted, which it wasn't intending to do until he saw you. You think he would have turned himself in if I wasn't here? Well, he seemed to know who you are. Do you have some reputation I should be aware of? No more than any other knight. The boy clearly would have resisted regardless of my presence. No, we had agreed before disembarking that Dalen would turn himself over to the authorities. Sorry. That's
No,
just...
no.
It's like once per stream at this point that I have to simulate that. Fucking hell.
Also, it's like, we would have turned over to the authorities. You fucked that up.
Yeah, fucking hell. Oh, I don't believe you, the woman said to Arik's mild surprise. What was the name Dalen had called her? Lyra? You think I am lying? Arik asked. No, I think you've been misled. About what Dalen would have done? Interesting, because I would assume I know him much better than you. Get out of our way, Bringer, Lyra said, attempting to walk past Arik, but he interrupted her.
Miles?
What's the real reason you're here? As I see it, Dalen is charged with no crime that falls under your jurisdiction. It's not what he's done. Wait. Oh, it falls under your jurisdiction. It's not... Wait. Oh, no. Shad, fucked up paragraph.
Really?
That's not how that works. That statement by Arik should be its own paragraph. It's not what he's done, Lyra said, leaning in to speak softly. It's what he is. His very existence is a threat to the Order. Arik whispered back, Why are we whispering? You would only think that if you knew Dalen hadn't dedicated his life to fight evil.
Jesus.
That is the best joke all novel. Holy shit, Shad.
Holy crap!
Yeah.
I didn't know he was
If for no other reason than like the amount of cope in that one sentence.
Get a
Oh.
Joffrey card.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, you ain't touching me, B.
Twy is almost home, which is great. All right. To do what Dalen done, interesting, blah, 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 blah. Existence, you would only think that if you knew Dalen hadn't dedicated his life to fight evil. Lyra's face twitched in shock, confirming the truth of Arik's statement, but her anger quickly returned. Her Teresian I'm sorry! Your traveling companion openly admitted that he joined the Order in order to utilize its status in order to get back into his own fucking country's community. Jesus Christ, Lyra! Maybe... like, everyone is fucking wrong! Oh,
Look, we can all have double standards, but come on.
Her Teresian companion stood beside her and looked back and forth between Lyra and Arik with a blank face. But Arik was a Teresian himself, and had grown up understanding his people's subtle body language thanks to his parents. Just say he was also Teresian. Why did you need to specify his parents?
Wait, why is it Ulrich all naked then?
That's also a good question. Why isn't Arik naked?
Different breed?
He ain't got no nipples and he's ashamed of it.
What the fuck?
You heard me.
The question is, how do you know that?
Don't. It's just an educated guess. Why else would he be afraid to take off his shirt?
Maybe he has really, really pointy nipples.
Oh.
Nah, no,
Oh,
no
no.
nipples is funnier.
Oh.
No, I don't do that.
The man was very conflicted. Teresian culture held Lightbringers, or Syrians as they called them, in very high regard, and it was clear that the man didn't know whether to side with Auric or his companion. That's the real reason you're after him, Auric said to the woman. Your fear for the Order's safety doesn't justify taking away a man's freedom, especially when your fear is unfounded. If Dalen intended to fucking what, Auric? Completely besmirch the Order's name in taking it for Jesus Christ.
You mean what he actually did?
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I hate Auric now. Like,
No, I've soured on Auric since the fucking pirate shit. Like, even before
what are you talking about?
Even before that, he was on thin ice, and then he just fell off a goddamn cliff.
No, come on, guys. Auric didn't kill anyone. The ground did.
That man might still be falling to this very day.
Yeah.
We just see a falling skeleton eventually.
Where's his redemption story?
Everyone in this fucking book is like morally bankrupt. Auric glanced. You know what would be great? I want to write like a short book that's like constant, like Shad's, but I'm constantly pointing out like what the most moral thing. Like the character's like, well, obviously he needed to do this because that's the moral and right thing to do, and literally it's all the time, and it's just every single scenario. It's like, well, obviously he took the most safe and direct route in order to arrive at his destination, because to do otherwise would be not only immoral, but also just inefficient.
And I'm over.
Give me an idea.
I'm over here and just thinking, you know what? It's very telling that my favorite quote in basically all of fiction ends with, "I will choose this death not because I can win, but because it is right."
Oh, what's that from? That's good.
Bruh,
it is the story of Sanguinius in 40K. He talking about his final battle. Long story. I think it was like, hey, I can see the future, and people think I'm immortal and brave because of it. No, I'm not brave because I can see the future. I'm brave because I choose to be.
Damn. I really hate that that's from Warhammer 40K, because that's goddamn bars right there.
No, don't worry. There's plenty more bars, and unfortunately, yes, it is part of 40K.
Auric glanced at the crowd of people around them. Apart from the constables, all the girls aboard the Marvin were standing along the railing and watching everything. Auric leaned in and spoke softly as Lyra had. If he intended to tell anyone how he received your powers, he would have done so already. I tried to get him to tell me. I'm his only friend, and he won't speak a word of it. And you know, I can't lie while keeping my powers. Except by omission. Auric raised a finger and shone light from the tip to drive the point home. Auric, phone. No. Auric, tell truth. He is son of Daedalus the Conqueror, Lyra said with venom. He cannot be trusted. Dalen despises the Conqueror, and his relation to that tyrant does not more to make him a better man than anything else. He is keenly afraid of making the same mistakes, except for the fact that he has already made several of the same mistakes. So he thinks he might make the same mistakes, and he guards his actions as a result, except that he doesn't. I don't care. Good reaction. Honestly, Lyra at this point, while flawed, is the only redeemable character. I can't wait for that to get ruined.
Yep.
I can't say anything.
Okay. His parentage, powers, and knowledge make him far too dangerous to be free. You can't stop us, Springer. No, probably not, Art conceded. But I will see him freed, as you have no true legal right to detain him. They have several legal rights to detain him. Shut the fuck up, Auric.
They have the only right, actually.
He lost his powers several times over with that.
No, okay. There is a caveat to this. It's not a lie if you think it's true. It just means that Auric is a fucking
You're right.
Another bar, delusion does not grant you the mercy of truth.
Exactly. Yeah, just because it's not the truth doesn't mean it's a lie. It's just him being a goddamned idiot. He's guilty of so many counts of murder. Yes, absolutely. Especially when we have all the
She's here.
weird qualifications of the murders he's
Hello.
already caused. Hi, Twilight. Welcome
Twilight.
back.
Yo,
Thank
she's
you.
finally here.
Hey.
All right.
Now
Well,
Twi.
we're almost through this chapter, and there's 10 pages in the next. So we'll pick up, I think it's 2 pages into that chapter. I think that'll be it.
That's chapter 35?
I think so. Let me scroll back.
I thought we
to
were on
the
chapter 35.
stream. Yeah, that'll be chapter 35, yes.
Okay, so 2 pages into chapter 35? Got it.
Yep.
Awesome.
No, probably not. I will free him as... Yeah, so if you want a brief recap, Arik is trying to explain everything to Lyra and Kuseg. And he's getting everything fucking wrong about it, because he's like, oh, you are... Lightbringer, you're guilty of assault. And it's like, guilt is determined by court. And then we looked at the definition of guilt, and it has absolutely nothing to do with court. And also, if you want to argue justified self-defense, it's technically a guilty plea, but you're saying that you did it and you were justified in doing so. So he's wrong on like 2 different counts about what guilty means and understanding of the law. And we got into a whole diatribe about how Shad doesn't understand what law means. There's several points where Arik is like, he did commit this one crime, but that shouldn't justify you guys tracking him down, even though that crime was him impersonating one of your orders, so you guys probably have a mandate of keeping the order within your ranks nice and clean in order to make sure your reputation remains pristine, especially because you guys get free shit on the regular from the peasantry. It's like Arik basically completely missed like why it's important to do that shit. It's disgusting.
Oh my god. That sounds like a mess.
It is, and it's still going.
Yeah.
No, probably not. But I will see him freed, as you have no true legal right to detain him. Legal right, Lyra said, waving a hand to the constables. He is wanted for several crimes. Yes, and he will turn himself into the constabulary for those charges. The Archknights have the power of arrest, but this is to deliver criminals to the local judicial authority. We're empowered to make judgments and carry out sentences too, Bringer. The Archknights protect the world, and your friend stands as a legitimate threat to the Order, making him a danger to the world. I've every right to take him in. No, you don't, Arik said calmly. You cannot prove Dalen threatens the Order based on a subjective accusation. You're overstepping your authority here. I can guarantee you the Senate will be very... Arik! All accusations are subjective. You can only prove objective reality, and even then, in a court of law.
Is he really pulling the I am the Senate line?
Shad, you're friends with EFAP. You know the whole subjectivity and objectivity argument. What the fuck are you having one of your protagonists make it like this?
Say what you want.
Christ!
Say what you want about them. They're decent at argumentation, the EFAP people, aren't they? I don't know, but...
Yes, that's why I'm baffled. They are usually very calm, very kind. When people are, when they're debating or discussing these types of things, they're usually pretty good on the ball in order of doing this. So the fact that Shad is just so goddamn ignorant to the very concept... the inner lawyer, the person that studies law to some degree for mock trial is just that's why you missed Arik phoning home.
Oh.
That's amazing.
Izanagi says, be right
Wonderful.
back. I need a stiff drink. You know what? Double shot it, my friend. You might need that. Actually, on second thought, that might kill you. Don't double shot it. In fact, half shot
Not double
it.
shot.
Oh, Christ.
On a bike.
All right.
Repeat what I said in voice chat. Have they not mentioned butchering that homeless guy back when?
I don't know if anyone even knows that happened. No, they haven't mentioned it. Arik doesn't know about that, though.
Yes.
I was mentioning it.
But all the same, he has been accused of multiple crimes. The police should be out to arrest him and bring him in for questioning. and now he has fled his arrest just because there were more powerful police there that can actually stop him from breaking out of jail. I know you guys don't know that, but what other excuse can he make for wanting to run away from being arrested, which he said to Arik he wanted to do? Oh my God.
He got scared.
It's like, I don't... Lyra, kill this man, please. Maybe if we're lucky, when he dies, his jaw will clench shut and he'll bite off Dalen's dick.
That has the same energy, by the way, as like just mods break his balls.
Yes.
Mods recover his search history.
Hey, like, whack his pee-pee.
I'd like to see Shad's search history.
Christian girls gone wild. And it's like, I didn't pray the rosary last night. Oh. All right. We're empowered to make judgments. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. No, you don't, he said calmly. You cannot prove Dalen threatens the order. You're overstepping your authority. I guarantee the Senate will be very upset. This isn't something we'll drop regardless of how many senators dislike it, she said distastefully. And would the order be willing to go to war against Hemra for one boy, to fight and kill the very people they're sworn to protect? He was being arrested! They were working in coordination with the police! This is like the fucking FBI being told you don't have any jurisdiction. This is the local police's problem. When they were the sheriff is right fucking there, and they were working hand in hand.
Nah.
Oh my God. Arik's a sovereign citizen.
Oh my God, no!
Oh my God.
Am I being detained? Itzavinsky says, Arik, don't use one of the Mythbusters mottos to have Dalen escape punishment. What phrase from Mythbusters did he use?
Reject your reality and substitute my own.
Oh. Yeah, that's not how that works. That's in defiance of physics. Completely different context.
Still laws.
I'll see that they do. I say, don't be an idiot. Hamra would never take the issue so far. I'll see that they do, and we both know the Archknights would never go to war for such reasons unless the order has truly fallen from its noble purpose. Arik shook his head. No, what'll happen is that the Knights will hand over Dalen before going to war, losing a profound amount of respect and influence in this nation. Whoa. If the Archknights are a moral upbringing, if they're upholding the moral fabric of the world, if that is their sworn oath over any creed or country, it is to uphold the moral fabric of the world. Yes, they will, Arik. They fucking will go to war over one man that has committed multiple heinous fucking crimes, because that is them upholding the moral fabric of the world. The fact that they wouldn't is actually a profound example of them losing their noble purpose and caving to political pressures, showing that they are in fact a corrupt and worthless fucking institution. Jesus Christ, Shad, are you fucking dense?
Also,
Yes.
Can I also just point out, Arik sure is betting on all of the world going to war for this one fucker.
He really
just
is.
Because, like, oh yes, we're going to turn on the powerful Archknights because they were mean to this one guy.
It's like, okay, and then in the realm of eyewitnesses, and we have two investigators who have linked multiple crimes to this man, multiple unsolved murders to this man and his path and his actions. Meanwhile, we have one person saying, yeah, but he's not a bad guy, though. He did all of them for the right reasons. Everyone and their fucking mother would be like, well, bring him in for questioning. It's like, well, he fled from us. Well, charge him for fleeing from the police. I can't believe this is a 6-page chapter, and I've ranted on it for like 45 minutes. Oh my God. Holy shit. Oh.
Why would a militant group... Sorry, go ahead.
All right, I'm just going to try and power through this without breaking my brain even further. They would if the order begins to. Let's see. You really think you can conceive? Shit, where am I? Hand over. You would really think you could convince Hamra to declare war on the Archknights? We protect this nation as well as the rest of the world. No nation would attack the very thing that keeps them safe. They would if the order begins to oppress the people they've sworn to protect. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna bite my tongue on
Hold
this.
yourself back. Hold yourself back.
Lyra seemed to claim a calmer role. You're right, of course. We would never fight the innocent, but regardless, you're only fear-mongering. The boy isn't valuable enough for Hamra to even think of fighting us. He is the only known son of Daedalus the Conqueror. No! Okay, that is a fucking lie, Auric. You fucking know that Blackheart was another son of Daedalus the Conqueror. I guess you're trying to lean on known, but it didn't seem Blackheart was keeping that much of a fucking secret on that. That is a flat-out lie. Congratulations, power's gone, paladin bitch.
The only way I could see the loophole around is like.
Wait, does Shad not know the difference between arrest, charge, and conviction? Arrest and charge or conviction? No, he doesn't. He does not understand them. Arrest is not charge. Charge is not arrest. Conviction is not either of those. That is 3 separate steps in the process. It's fucking abhorrent. Oh. He's the only known son of Daedalus the Conqueror. Fine, we'll let the senators question him about his father, and then they'll have no reason not to hand him over. Auric leaned in, speaking softly. That's probably true because they don't know what Dalen does. The Archknights have done well in hiding the secret. Most people think their powers are directly connected to being an Archknight, in devoting one's life to fighting the Shade. I thought that once, as being a light bringer is directly connected with living one's life and serving others. Auric stared at her intently. But we both know that's not the case, don't we? Anyone can actually become a Lightbinder, regardless of how they live or who they are. And the Archknights have no power to stop them apart from hiding the secret. I wonder how valuable Dalen would become if the government knew he could tell them how to make an army of Lightbinders. Auric is now fucking threatening. Oh my god.
Where did this fucking supervillain arc come from?
Exactly.
That's the answer.
That's also
Mark turned to the dark side?
You wouldn't dare, she seethed. You're a bringer, and that would throw the world into chaos. And yet if the Arch Order of Light is willing to intimidate and take away the freedom of the very people they are sworn to protect due to its own self-interest, it's not worthy of the power it holds, and I can see we will need another group with equal power to oppose them. If that is a nation's army, then so be it. Auric, you cannot make these fucking promises, man. Holy shit.
I'm gonna be honest, Auric. You are really pushing this way. You are escalating the hell out of this.
Also, I should highlight, not even Dalen quite understands how he got his powers. Like, quite frankly, he has one data point that does not prove jack shit. He could have literally been a massive fluke. If anything, maybe the size of the light stone and the sunstone and the size of the dark stone that he was holding, like all those things, maybe those, you need precise measurements and he just got fucking lucky. Maybe you literally need God to come down and bless you yourself. Maybe you still need pure intent for whatever that fucking means in this world. There are several fucking factors that not even Dalen would know. So your proposition is effectively, yeah, he'll tell them and then we'll just keep throwing people off the fucking planet in order to see what happens.
Great plan.
His whole scheme. Go ahead.
No, it's so fucking bad, Shad. And then Auric is like, oh yes, totally. This government will take my word over yours and totally go to war with the world peacekeeping. Yeah, they'll totally go to war with the fucking UN, because that's a smart move over one guy. No, they won't. They will surrender. The fuck, they want to question the guy. The police want to arrest this motherfucker. Hamharan wants to arrest him.
Yeah, I
Or
was gonna
him,
say,
whatever.
like, just going off the idea that she believes him. That's more reason for them to keep him. To stop that from happening.
Oh. Let you you're the middle-aged knight bared her teeth at Auric. You're a son of a shade, you know that? Lyra, the Teresian knight said reproachfully. You do not speak to a Syrium this way. He's threatening the order, Cuseg, she hissed to her companion. I know this, but he is also Syrium, and we must give him honor. Lyra's fist clenched, and she looked like she was about to hit her companion. You know I'm right, Auric said. Live up to your order's true ideals instead of acting out of fear and prejudice. The local authorities will handle the charges against Dalen, and you won't so much as touch him until he chooses to join your ranks. It's the best course of action.
Nope.
Auric might be the worst character in this fucking book at this point.
It feels like a situation.
Well, I mean, Dalen's still here.
I was going to say,
I
the only one worse than him is Dalen, and honestly, right now, I don't know who I consider worse, because Dalen is, like, objectively horrendous in his own life. Auric is literally threatening war to save Dalen. It's like...
I really like Dalen.
Bruh, this
not only is he ugly by association, the lengths that he's going through to protect Dalen are abhorrent.
Yeah.
This feels like a situation where just Daedalus possessed Auric like Ozpin would, and so pretty much this is just Daedalus puppeteering him.
Accurate. The woman turned and angrily paced back and forth. Fine, she said. Auric smiled, truly gratified to see that at least one knight still showed that they are worthy of their powers. Even here, when fearing for their order's safety, she showed that they could live up to their ideals and mandate over their own interests. But we'll be accompanying him wherever he goes until he finally chooses to join. Lyra and Cusick have joined the party. Fuck off!
Yay!
Oh
no.
Also,
I was
want to
hoping
point
this
out,
didn't happen, but
guys, I know we want to keep making commentary, but we gotta get through this chapter. We're lagging behind because I just keep fucking going off on rants because it is that bad.
All right.
After all, the best person to ensure that your friend doesn't give away the secret of the Archknights is an Archknight. He won't accept that. He doesn't have a choice. I trust your word when you say he'll turn himself in, but I can't trust him. So I'll need to ensure he does what you say. If he's cleared of all charges as you believe he will be, the Order won't simply take it on faith that he'll eventually join us, that he won't abuse his power in the meantime, or that he might inadvertently or purposefully reveal what he knows. These are the terms and conditions to access this contract. Auric certainly hadn't expected this, yet he couldn't find fault in the knight's request, for truthfully he would probably have asked the same thing if the roles had been reversed. Oh, for once you're thinking of it from her perspective. Thank fucking God you have that a little bit in you, dumbass. Well, I suppose that is reasonable enough, so long as you don't try to control him. Except for in the cases where he might do things I've mentioned. If he does, it wouldn't be on purpose. Kill Auric now.
Yeah.
Just save us all the fucking... I don't care if it costs you your powers. Just kill him. He's not worthy of living. Oh. But you just admitted there's a chance, which makes our presence all the more necessary. Very well, and I'll be there to ensure that you don't abuse your powers and act the way unjustly towards him. Good, we're in agreement. Auric looked away from her and headed toward the Conqueror's son had been. The problem is I highly doubt Dalen will be. Ed Stavinsky says, Auric, the boots can't taste that good. Agreed.
It's not the boots he's tasting.
Chapter 35. Due to my betrayal of the Lorian Empire, both Xantium and Therese declared war on me. I had crippled the main Lorian fleet, but needed to call back my armies to protect the Hamhran border from my new enemies, which gave Loren time to recover. The threat of the Dawn Empire was so great that Leonta, instead of striking at Lorane while they were weak, which was my hope, put aside their centuries-long dispute and made peace, turning their attention towards me with Therese and Xantium at their sides. Leon Tar and the Lorians working together. I could barely believe it. Yeah, it's almost as if betraying people in the middle of a fucking war is probably a good way to get yourself fucking killed. Just ask the goddamn Nazis. I guess that's the equivalent. It's the betrayal of not the Nazis or the Soviets during World War II. That's what he's trying to say.
Mm.
Okay. Whatever. Fucking hell. Oh, that's a Z. That was so thin I couldn't make that out. As Banadarar, the Endrin Kingdom, the Orden Empire, and the divided states of Makwe saw they needed and choose a side by this time, as it was inevitable they would be dragged into the war eventually, except that Sweden never was. Andra, Orden, and half of Makwe sided with my enemies, who called themselves the Allied Empires.
So you were saying?
Shad?
Whatever.
Tolkien would be slapping you right now. Hard. As Bendar and the other half of Makwe sided with me. Thus started the First World War of Telos. Wait, Shad, does this imply there's already been a Second World War of Telos?
Oh my god.
Shad, you know they didn't call it the First World War when it happened. They called it the Great War, or the War to End All Wars. This is like History 101, Shad. Holy shit, you not understanding law has a little bit of lenience because a lot of dumbass people don't study the laws of their own countries because, quite frankly, it doesn't come up a lot unless you get convicted of something or accused of something. But, so there's a little bit of leeway there. Not enough when you make it such a center point of your book. But this? Jesus Christ, Shad, World Building 101. Unless you establish there's a second, I shall ask, is there a Second World War of Telos? Where's my fact checker at?
Yeah, I no clue. Could not tell you.
Okay. Someone make note of that. Not yet? Oh, fuck. Yeah, not yet. Great. That's probably in the sequels. Dalen sat on the small brick fence that encircled the top terrace of a high-rise building. The building sat on a dark stone foundation and floated above the ground city several kilometers away from the skyport. A dark stone elevator led to it in the sky. Dalen dropped his head into his hands. For an instant, during the fight with the two knights, he had lost control. If not for Auric, he would have fought to the death with that arch-knight. Lyra. It was impossible not to recognize her. She had become an arch-knight of all things. The guilt! Hey, that wasn't proven in a court of law. From the memory was almost unbearable. But even having been face-to-face with that poor girl once more, Dalen had let his own rage overtake him. He had been ready to kill her. Of course, with how strong she was, Dalen might have been the one to die. Oh, how wonderful that would have been, Dalen thought bitterly, to be finally released from his torture. Why didn't you let her kill you? It was right there, man. Oh, we were right there, man. Come on.
It would have been very satisfying for you to have
Fuck
died
you,
there,
Shad,
Dalen.
for making us realize how close we were to any kind of justice.
Dalen growled to himself and stepped off the fence, letting his mind dwell on less emotionally taxing thoughts, like how under the light of the girl had created a sun-forged sword. Lyra. Guilt surged within Dalen. Non-legally binding guilt surged within Dalen as he saw her in his mind. Dalen growled again. He didn't have the strength to face that yet, so he tried to focus on what she had done, not who she was. She had created a sun-forged sword. Auric had said Lightbringers couldn't become Lightbinders, and he couldn't lie, so at least Auric honestly believed it. Dalen remembered what he had sensed during that battle. He could feel the woman using her powers, and there was a familiarity about it, but her companion was different. The light he had drawn in had left his body. Indeed, when Dalen was struck by that bolt of lightning, there was something in it. Light. No shit? The bolt of lightning had been controlled or called forth by light. No, that's how the magic system works? Dalen, are you
We've
dumb?
been over the Shad.
I mean, you are, but are you dumb?
We went over the Shad. Keep up.
Arik, kill your. I just love how you didn't spell Arik right. That's great. That's, to be fair, I wouldn't spell it correctly anymore either.
I think he keeps misspelling it.
I
and
never
just
spell.
makes it better.
Yeah, I never spell it right.
I think all of us have consistently spelled it right. So
Based and light pilled. Dalen had no idea how the Teresian Knight had done that, but considering that the Knight hadn't bonded to any light to his body, and in contrast, the woman hadn't bonded any light to anything other than her body, meaning that there was at least 2 types of light binding. Dalen and the woman must share a type, while the Teresian was the other. That's...
Don't say that you share a type, by the way.
You're probably right, because that's how this book works. But I would not be surprised if that was just random speculation on your part. Ugok says there was light magic in his light magic, and this floor is made of floor. Yes.
What else is new?
Still, that didn't answer the question as to how the woman had created a sword from light. If Arik was right in that she couldn't be a bringer, then it must be an ability from the light binding power. And if Dalen's powers were the same type, then Dalen should not be able to do it. You know what I realized I really needed to add to the server soundboard? I need that Charlie meme from Always Sunny. Just, oh my god, I don't care.
Yeah.
Because I am so done with this fucking magic system. I feel like we're just constantly having it shoved down our throats, and there's no room for actual meaningful character growth.
He really wanted to make this a series.
Well, I was going to say, not that there is any meaningful character growth, but if there were any. I just blew a bubble with my spit. That was strange.
You.
Whoa.
I don't need to hear that.
TMI, dude. TMI.
That's never, it's like, I don't think that's ever happened before. That's just wacky. Okay.
I don't care. I don't want to hear it.
I need to understand, I am frothing angry at the mouth over this fucking book. Like that's where we're at right now. This is how bad it's gotten.
Oh my god!
It was teeny tiny. It's evaporated, so it's fine. Jesus Christ, this book. Still answer the question how the woman created Arik, blah 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 blah. Dalen tried to recall what he had sensed when she did it. Just a specific thing was hard to remember. If only his memory were better. His memory.
Ready.
Dalen rolled his eyes, smiling to himself, and channeled light through each of his bonds into his memory. The clarity was crushing. Everything he had ever done in his entire life was before him in full, awful comprehension. And considering all the horrific sins he had committed, the utterly perfect recollection of every instance within every instant of those sins caused Dalen to scream in agony and turmoil. He let go of the bonds as soon as they had formed and fell to the ground crying.
What?
This fucking dumbass gave himself magic PTSD.
Oh, I thought the channeling thing was a purely physical thing. Now you could just channel your cognition. What the fuck?
No, because it's a fucking video game system. It's not an actual like. No, that's an insult to video game systems. They at least justify their fucking, mechanics in lore. This is just, there's an attribute called tough or endurance or toughness, which is, I'm going to vaguely define, even though I've never had these powers before. Oh, I'm going to channel into my cognition. Does your world even have a fucking concept of it?
This is a shitty mobile game kind of game.
A
This
game
is why I
doesn't
called it a
overly
rejected
complicate or break shit
progression.
like this. Agreed. All right. Twy, I'm going to
Why
have
did he
you
go
take on
to
over.
max
Okay.
power
Oh
instead of
boy.
just one bond difference? Whatever.
So the last one was he fell to the ground crying.
He let go of the bonds as soon as they had formed and felt. Yeah, that's it. You're right.
Yeah. Okay. He had just relived his entire life in flawless detail. Every crime, every mistake. He had seen the face of every person he had ever murdered, every girl he had raped. Their tears and cries for mercy, the sorrow of their loved ones. His heartless carelessness for anyone or anything apart from his own power. His memory had returned to normal, but the clarity that had just been inflicted upon him remained. It was the most profound proof of how wretched his life had been. For what could condemn a monster more than reliving his own life?
But most painful of all was that time he was at Denny's, and when the waitress said, "Enjoy your meal," he said, "Thanks, you too."
Oh my god.
That's a deep memory. He's eating at Denny's.
I was going to say, that's the next biggest regret in his life.
Should have eaten IHOP.
No, Waffle House.
Oh my god, Floof. Oh, that's so accurate.
Who would win, a Waffle House employee or Dalen?
Well, dude, fucking couldn't compare Waffle House employee. Easy.
My god, man.
I saw a Waffle House employee hit a JoJo pose recently.
Well, I mean, dude, that's like saying hey.
Okay, guys.
Yeah, guys, we are on a time crunch here.
Dalen wailed in heartbroken agony. To go on living, he had forced himself to not think of his past sins. He hadn't forgotten them. He never could. But recalling even a few at a time had overpowered him with guilt. Now, having every sin come before him. No, it was worse than that. For the clarity was so strong and perfect that he had just relived his entire life. And now, with all that, it was too much. Dalen cried in unbearable pain and anguish, writhing on the ground as if assaulted by some terrible force. Wherever his mind turned, it was confronted with one of his past sins, and he recoiled both mentally and physically, only to be assaulted by another. His back arched, and his whole body tensed, his face glowing red from the mental anguish. He screamed and screamed.
Okay,
It was an
so
assault on the mind.
the way I imagine this, if anyone has seen Uma Musume and Goldship writhing in pain from getting hit in the eye, that is exactly how I imagine this.
I'm imagining it like Bugs Bunny. Oh pain, oh agony.
It was an assault on the mind and the senses too torturous to bear. Dalen could feel himself swinging the sword that took off a 9-year-old princess's head, and even worse, he could remember how he felt about it, how he had felt that it actually had been the right thing to do. He remembered his feelings and hatred for the people of Daybreak. When he ordered the city's destruction, he remembered watching on with satisfaction as he murdered millions. Some vile, dark part of himself back then had actually enjoyed performing those heinous acts. His body tensed and writhed even more, reflecting on the torment of his mind to the point that blood began to seep from the pores of his skin.
Oh, fuck! Oh, it gets better. No, keep going. Keep going.
Yeah, keep going.
Let him cook.
And then in an instant, Dalen's mind snapped, unable to cope, and Dalen Namarin died.
Thank God.
Oh, so we're done, right?
No, we still have 30% more to go.
But he's dead.
No. This is one of my favorite moments. In this
Turns to have to go.
Yeah, same.
I
Gundam.
love this so much.
Death had many stages, yet they happen so fast that most people don't realize this. The heart stops and blood is no longer pushed through the body. Then, with a lack of oxygenated blood, the brain suffocates and shuts down. Yet, even when there are vestiges of life in every cell of a person's body, though many would call this the stopping of the heart, the shutting down of the brain, death. Yet if those cells have an unbidden reflex to draw in light to heal, if enough of them were still alive, and even if the light they can draw in is strong enough, death can be prevented from taking over. Thus, Dalen did truly die when his mind snapped under the unbearable load of all of his memories, and he would have died completely, for the body cannot live without the mind, as the mind cannot live without the body. but his body pulled in light through the 4 paths that existed within Dalen and were bonded to his mind, healing it. 4 healing bonds of light are powerful indeed, and after a few seconds, Dalen's eyes, though already opened, moved with light.
So Izanagi, thank you. Oh my
No.
god, shut up, Dalen. Secondly, great. Shad, you don't realize what you've just done.
He's
Yes,
immortal.
I would know.
You've just made Dalen immortal.
Does
Can I make
anyone
a-
else
If
feel
you
crawling
do,
in my
no,
skin
no.
in the background? You know?
Clearly, what he's just done is have Galen atone for his sins. Duh.
I've given my character, going to the artificer, I gave my character a similar out. However, 1, it was the climax of the book, and 2, it's going to have long-lasting repercussions. Like there's not it's not a get out of jail free card.
And audience, if you want to experience that climax for yourself, buy the book.
Yeah, go buy the artificer. It's better than this shit, and it's a faster read too.
Can I make a quick nitpick on this story? How do they know
Go ahead.
what cells are?
That's a good question. When were cells discovered?
I wonder.
1500, something like that.
Good
Okay, I was gonna
question.
say
I don't think Chad
some
knew the
some
answer.
science is surprisingly old, so there are times where I'm like, would they know it around that time or not?
Basically, look up whenever the microscope was invented. That's about around the same time.
According to National Geographic, it was discovered in 1665.
Of the nitpicks for this book, this one is like fine. It's whatever.
If I read the artificer, how much froth can I expect? I guarantee a minimal froth. All right, we're talking like less than a mocha latte.
That's not very frothy.
Precisely.
All right.
But you know what's
What?
frothy? The tundra.
What just happened? Shut your mouth. Thank you. What just happened? Dalen thought, sitting up. His whole body ached, but the ache was fading. He was healing himself for some reason. Dalen wiped the sweat from his brow to find it tinged red, like it had been mixed with blood. Dalen wiped again, and, thanks to it being mostly water, it came off easily. There was something in his mind, something locked away, a memory. Yet the very moment Dalen even considered recalling it, fear overwhelmed him. Whatever he did, he couldn't allow himself to remember it. The odd thing was he knew what it was, as if it were a basic point of academic knowledge without truly remembering it. It was the knowledge of what had happened. He had bonded light to his memory and accidentally relived his entire life. He knew it without truly thinking of it or recalling anything in regard to how it had felt. The memory was locked away tight, and for good reason. It had almost killed him, hadn't it? Dalen climbed to his feet. What had he been doing? That's right, trying to figure out how the female Arcanite had created a sword from light. Dalen's light sense had felt what she was doing, and in fact Dalen thought that he had sensed something different from the woman when she had summoned the sword, but he couldn't remember. Yes, that was why he had bonded his light to the memory in the first place, to try to remember more clearly what that woman had done. Well, now he knew that, for him at least, bonding so much light to his memory could be extremely dangerous, and that didn't mean that he wasn't going to try again. Dalen had never claimed that he was incapable of being a reckless idiot. This time, Dalen started with
Dalen,
one
you've
bond.
only ever been a reckless fucking idiot.
Yeah, that is true.
You've made claim to the contrary, and we've never seen proof of it.
This time, Dalen started with one bond, focusing it specifically on the event he wanted to recall. It became clearer instantly. He could remember finer details, and even what he had felt from his light sense during the fight. Dalen could tell that he had the capability to remember other things from other times, but he didn't want to remember any other moment apart from the time that he was focusing on. With that focus, the memories didn't overwhelm him. Dalen tried 2 bonds, and the events he was focusing on became clearer while everything else remained safely locked away. Feeling much more secure, Dalen channeled light through all of his bonds to his memory, focusing specifically on that one time, which became vividly clear. He remembered things that he didn't even realize he'd noticed. In fact, it was as if he were walking through a fight as a third-party observer while it played out a fraction of the speed. It was amazing. I
fucking hate this.
This
I already can predict how this works, but I'm thinking, like, realistically, how would this work? Because memories are faulty. What he is getting is straight up goddamn mental time travel.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, this guy's
also,
bad.
like, this is him stretching out this stuff, basically repeating himself so
Yeah, he's
many
doubling
goddamn
back.
times.
He's doubling back
Yeah.
on an entire fucking fight.
I don't even want to repeat my donation to the Patreon for $1 or more. You can access the tiny Discord server. That's how bad this is.
Dalen focused on his light sense as the woman called forth the sword. The first thing he realized is that he sensed a separate light within the woman. There was her inner light, which shone with pure brightness, revealing how good a person she was. But there were other lights inside there, separate but present. What were they? Then one of those separated lights moved when the woman stretched out her hand, and it flowed out, forming into her sword. Dalen sensed the action in exactly the same way that he had when the woman had bonded light to one of her abilities, like her strength. It was then that Dalen sensed something different about the bonds that she was using with her strength, that they were twice as big as his own. He could sense 2 of them, and the light that they could channel was easily twice as much as he could with any one of his own bonds. Her third bond, the one that she was using to channel the sword through, was the same size as normal, and then Dalen had realized that what he had just thought. The only way that he could describe what he was sensing in regard to the sword was that the sword was being channeled through the woman's third bond, the exact same way the light was channeled. Dalen released his memory bonds, which was like stepping out of another world, but soon he did this with his head burst with pain. Ouch! Dalen said, stumbling forward and cradling his head. It wasn't the worst headache of his life, but light had it come on suddenly. He quickly channeled to heal himself. The stabbing pain subsided, but didn't disappear completely. That's not good, Dalen said, for never had his powers failed to heal him fully. And why did enhancing his memory give him such a headache in the first place? Yet, that wasn't the first time that he had gotten a headache after using his powers. His head had hurt after enhancing his perception back in Blackheart's hideout, too. But it's also not the time to worry about it, Dalen said as he cast his mind back into the interactive memory that he had just walked through. How could that sword have been channeled like light? He asked out loud. And in answer to that, Dalen asked another question. And what had Arik said about the miracle of creation?
Pause. I fucking realized something because I was in a goddamn coma from this. I'm not absorbing any of this information because I realized, Dalen, why are you fucking obsessing over this? Holy shit. No one else take this the wrong way. This is very specifically targeted. You are such a fucking autistic spaz. Like, I feel, you know what? I retract that. That's offensive to autistic spazzes.
Obsessive spaz.
I need
no
to
offense
remind
taken, and I speak for the entire chat when I say that.
I need to clarify here.
She is wait, hold up. She is twice. She speaks for the autists.
But I need to clarify here. Dalen, you were almost arrested. You physically assaulted and were assaulted by Archknights. Your friend let you go, like it helped you escape, and you're now on the run. Why the fuck is the first thing that your mind is focusing on this fucking light sword? Like, I know you're trying to avoid the whole "you fucked Lyra when she was a kid" thing, but I don't know. I feel like if you focus on other things, like What's your plan now? Excuse you, you're kind of you're hanging with your dick in the lurch because Arik's not there to suck it. And how many times can I make that joke and have it not run stale?
Like the sticky bread.
Yeah, you know what? There hasn't been enough sticky bread recently. But at the same time, it's like, Dalen, this, of all things, focus on literally anything else than the magic sword because you don't understand the magic system. You don't know a goddamn thing about it. Jesus Christ. All right, please continue.
Yeah.
I'm going
All
to just try not to slip into a coma.
Rip Celtic.
And I have to remember where I was.
As an autist,
He
I
had
don't
said-
blame him.
He had said all things were technically light, which was why he could absorb them. Well, I can draw in light, and if all things are actually made of light, shouldn't I then be able to draw in any object like Arik?
Oh my god.
Dalen,
Is he getting the power of fucking creation?
probably.
Most likely.
Dalen pulled a coin out and focused on it. Yes, he could sense it, very faintly, but barely noticeable in fact. But he could sense it. There was light in it. Dalen tried to draw in the coin as if it were a normal light. Nothing happened, and it felt like trying to walk through a solid wall. It really seemed like Dalen could only channel a bond normal light, whereas Art could channel not just bond, anything that was light. Even light that had taken form, or adopted identity, as Arik had put it. Then how had that Arknight done it? Well, for one, she hadn't channeled a normal object. It was a sunicle. Dalen paused as the difference dawned on him. A difference that should have been obvious. A sunicle was an object that had light bonded to every cell of its structure to the point that it was a solid light object. The fact struck him a little strange now, for according to Arik, all things were made of light. And Dalen's light sense seemed to confirm that otherwise he wouldn't be able to sense inanimate objects. So a sunicle was an object which was light, and one that had more light bonded to it. Maybe that was why sun forging was possible. So could a lightbringer who could draw in light draw in some forged objects? There was an easy way to find out.
I want to stab myself in the eye with an ice pick.
Don't do that.
Here, I have a spare.
Just hearing the sigh
Uh-oh.
before, it's so good.
Do you blame me?
No, it's the best part of this.
I'm not gonna have any trouble sleeping tonight.
What wonderful
Stab
description
yourself
we
with a
have.
knife. That's much better.
Dalen drew Imperious from its sheath. Oh dear. Why would you do that?
That's great. That's beautiful.
You let his intrusive thoughts.
You're already hurting yourself with this book. What's a little eye poke going to do to you at this point? Fair.
Why did you give me such... You drew the eyes a little bit too well there, Silver-haired freak.
Eyebrows.
It's up there with Snowy Spider's goat.
He locked in.
Artist.
I am twice. Speak for the kids.
I honestly, I even though it's less accurate, I am Twy. I speak for the Spurs. Has more alliteration going on.
All right.
We're almost there.
My gosh. So Lightbringer could draw in light. Dalen drew Imperious from its sheath. He could sense that the sword. He could sense the sword as it was linked to him, But now he realized that there was something profoundly similar about that sense. He felt exactly the same as the light he could sense anywhere thanks to his light-binding powers, just stronger and focused into a single location. Same as the light within people. But he knew the light he sensed was imperious, and for some reason he couldn't mistake it for something or someone else. Holding Imperious, Dalen tried to draw on it the same way that he could draw in normal light. Imperious suddenly lost its form, turning into bright white light that flowed inside him, disappearing. Dalen stood there amazed. He had just drawn Imperious into himself. Indeed, he could feel it inside, a separate something, which seemed to indicate that the sword had not actually merged with him, but rather that it had only been stored. If it was anything like Arek's own ability, Imperious's weight would still be present. Dalen tried to draw the sword back out. The problem was that he didn't know how. Willing
good
the thing
shit.
to leave.
It'd be hilarious if it was just stuck there for the rest of the fucking book. That's a problem.
Everywhere.
Like clipping into him like Bethesda game.
Stuck up his ass.
It's like going. It's like one of those photographs where someone has gone to the into surgery to get something stuck in that was stuck inside of the mouth.
I was gonna say it's like
Yeah,
poking, like the part of the hilt is like poking out of his fucking abdomen. It's just like, oh shit. He's like grabs it and pulls, and he's like, no, that hurts. I'm not gonna do that.
Doctor,
Walks through a door.
We're not going to comment on the sword-based bulge in Dalen's stomach.
Is that a sword in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? It's a sword. It's a very complicated medical issue. I'm sorry.
Willing the thing to leave did nothing. He stretched out his hand and tried to draw on the light inside that was Imperious. Nothing. Then Dalen realized that he was still thinking of Imperious's light, and that he needed to draw in, but it was already within him. What did he do with light already drawn in? He channeled it into an ability. Okay, so what would happen if he channeled it into his hand? Dalen did this, and the light suddenly shone from his hand, forming into Imperious's shape before fully materializing.
Bullshit. His hand should turn into Imperious.
Oh.
Yeah.
It should.
He should have thought of Imperious as a sword in his hand, at the very least.
Shad, do you just want to make a video game? Like seriously, so many systems seem fine in a video game, but completely slow down the. No, these systems would fucking break in a video game.
No, they would not work at all.
It'd be one of those crappy, like glitchy open world games.
Yeah. Okay. Think
this is just Hammer
Cyberpunk,
Space.
but somehow even worse.
Worse than
Cyberpunk on day one, but even worse.
No, just
It's
Cyberpunk
just-
game design in general. Anyway.
This was how the female Arknight did it. She didn't have any light-bringing powers. Oh my God. She couldn't create or absorb inanimate objects. It was simply an extension of light binding. A remarkable and extremely useful extension at that. Dalen turned over the sword in his hand. When he had been emperor and had just ordered the destruction of Daybreak, one of his worst atrocities, the Arknight that was his advisor had attacked him upon seeing that Dalen was set on committing such a terrible act of genocide. Dalen recalled that the knight had been unarmed one moment, but then Dalen looked again and he had Sunforged sword in his hand. This was how that knight had hidden his sword. Light binders could absorb and store sunicles within themselves.
Oh, so you've seen this before.
Yeah.
Dalen, I hate you.
We're back to repeating.
There are a few characters in fiction, even I think The Last Jedi, where several characters are ruined. I don't really hate them. I hate Dalen.
Yeah.
This is a deep, primal emotion to the point that I am kind of at peace. Oh my God, Silverhaired Free.
Hey, what you got? Nothing.
Yugok says, don't you love it when a game hits you with a page text scroll explaining a new skill and a tutorial directly after a character interaction cutscene? Yeah, and then the main character is like, maybe if I do this, it'll work. And it gives you the button prompt. And then if you don't push the button, he's like, but maybe if I do this, it'll work. And he'll just kind of go on a loop of giving you like hints.
Must. But thou must.
Yes.
But thou must.
Yep.
Oh god, it's
it was
Demon
point
Slayer
and
all
click.
over again.
It was point and click adventure all along.
Still, this didn't answer every question Dalen had. The female Arc Knight had pulled on her sword through the natural link with far more strength than she should have been able to do. Dalen hefted the sword in his hand, its weight being far lower than a regular sword, and felt the link. It was prominent, and he tugged on it, feeling the sword pull back on his grip. Dalen walked to the back of the terrace, where another level of the building loomed over him, a penthouse by the look of it. Dalen drew Imperius over the lip of the roof and then pulled on the link. He heard Imperius drag a little forward before hitting the smaller brick barrier at the lip. Dalen felt himself get tugged up, but with nowhere near enough force to lift his weight. Sunforged links only ever had enough strength to pull on the Sunicles themselves, and only if one was close enough. Dalen tried to pull harder, but nothing changed. He lay on the ground and pulled. His chest rose a little, as if an invisible rope were pulling on him, but there was still nowhere near enough strength to lift him off the ground.
Just reduce
let
your
alone
density, dumb shit.
Let alone overpower Ark's invisible force, which had been enough to pick up full-grown men and throw them about like rag dolls. Well, this appeared to be the extent of his link in his normal state, but that woman wasn't a normal person, and neither was Dalen. "The question now," Dalen said, "is can I bond light to my link with Imperius?" Dalen tried. Light seemed to flow into the link. Dalen's awareness of the sword became far stronger. In fact, he could feel the roof. Not the ground where he lay, but rather the roof where Imperius was. He could feel the breeze and hear the wind that hummed over the building. It was like he had another set of ears that picked up noises from the sword's location. Dalen channeled his other bonds to the link, and it had become even clearer. In fact, a double image appeared in his vision. Dalen closed his eyes and found that the image was a view of the perspective of Imperius itself, like a second set of eyes that sat inside the blade. What if you just turned it over? Would you just be looking at the ground then?
I don't know what's fucking happening anymore. I've just everything to do with this magic system at this point I have completely tuned out, unless it's something horrifically contradictory. I just presume at this point Dalen is God. Like, it prove me wrong. Dalen is all-powerful, all-knowing. He can do anything he fucking wants. No one can fucking stop him. The one time they tried, he's saved by his fucking follower. It's every step of this is just... There's no stakes. There's no tension. I want Dalen to die in a horrible, bloody fashion. But the thing is, I won't even be satisfied with that because he'll go, woe is me. I'm getting what I deserved. There is no bite to this. There's no resolution that will make me like Dalen. I want him to die a painful death, but that's a reward for him. So, you know what? I just want him gone. I want him to cease exist. I want him to light bind himself so fucking hard in some way, he ceases to exist. Reduce his fucking density until he's nothing but vapor.
I want the doctor to say I'm sorry to him and then go join the family.
I also zoned out. I'm just playing Kingdom Hearts at this point.
Well,
good job.
Like,
Better off.
literally 40% of this book is just Dalen randomly figuring shit out, even to the point where he is supposed to be doing other things. Another 40% of this book is just Dalen going, woe is me. And then maybe
5% of this book is Arik sucking his dick, and 15% of
Yeah.
this book is plot.
And not
Yeah.
even in the good way.
That's why this book is so infuriating.
But it's not even like he's figuring things out in a, this is a tense situation and a conflict he has to resolve. He's just sitting there talking to himself. It's so
Mhm.
boring.
And he never asks other people for help to do this. He always has to figure it out himself.
That's the
Which is like what is the point of these other characters though? If that's the case.
It's
Well, and,
great
like,
because like
if
I'm
you-
just again I'm thinking about the Artificer and like, man, you know, I could have done I've done similar things and like I could do better now. I'm much more aware of my own flaw because I'm seeing an even worse version of what I've already mistakenly done in action. And it's like, okay, I can grow from this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty. He was able to gaze out from the sword and even turn his view to look in other directions. Incredible, Dalen said. He was constantly finding new possibilities for his powers. Channeling light to a linked sunicle meant one could see and hear out of it from a distance, or at a distance. Then Dalen gently pulled on the link and he arose a little off the ground. He swung as if tied by a rope to the closed door of the penthouse. Lowering himself, Dalen stood and stepped away from the penthouse to yank on the link. His whole body shot up into the air, and Dalen crashed into the lip of the penthouse's brick-roof chest first. Dalen's ribs shattered. Gasping in pain, he fell back down to the terrace, his head cracking on the tiled patio, knocking him out, and then he died again.
Yay! Really?
Eternal death loop.
He should have.
I mean,
I mean, yeah, no. Dalen regained consciousness as his powers healed him. This is becoming a habit. He rolled onto his back. Looks like I need a bit of practice with that one, Dalen added before getting to his feet. Stepping away from the penthouse, Dalen channeled 2 bonds to the link, one to his reflexes and another to his strength. He yanked on the link, which again pulled him into the air with half of the force as before. Yet it was still very fast. With his agility enhanced, he easily raised his hands to grab the lip of the roof, his enhanced strength absorbing the impact, and he let the momentum carry him over, where he flipped in the air, pulling Imperius up onto his hand and landing on his feet, feeling rather happy with himself. Dalen was about to sheathe Imperius, but then, smiling to himself, he absorbed it instead and walked with a skip to the side of the building. No wonder the knights hid this little trick. Dalen leapt off from the building to go and buy another sword, a fine steel one. Dalen did have an empty sheath at his side, after all, and it was always good to keep one's options open.
Is he just gonna keep on absorbing swords into his body?
No, he's just getting one for appearances.
Yeah.
He just yeah, it's literally just there to make it look like he's armed with something like not conspicuous, you know.
And now people won't know that he is the Conqueror's son because he doesn't have Imperius.
Hey,
Fuck
you know
Shad, for
something
having him
else
think
too?
of this so late.
You know something else too? He's not a Gary Stu. He struggled with something.
I was going to point
Yeah,
that
I was
fucking
thinking
out.
about that.
Oh my god, it's like, look, he failed. Oh, look, he lost a fight. And it's like, no, he didn't lose a fight. He got a fucking way. He got everything he wanted from that to leave.
You know how people say in scripted sequences in video games they don't feel like they lost or, had a trial or anything? This was a scripted sequence. There was nothing about this that was actually
Story is all
struggling.
script.
This is just like, this is 10 pages. This chapter was longer than the last one, which had 3 different characters who all had their own motivations and were all trying to accomplish something different, discussing something, trying to figure out how to move their lives forward, effectively moving the plot forward. This chapter was almost half again longer. And on top of that, contributed nothing but Dalen figuring out how to hide his dick.
This could be this.
I hate this book. Like this might actually be one of the worst, if not the worst thing I've ever read. Beyond like the incomprehensible scribbles of like the absolutely childish and mentally impaired. I've read those too. Honestly, they're more enjoyable reads because you know that someone tried. They had chutzpah to them, a certain je ne sais quoi.
Yeah.
This is just a fucking train derailment in motion.
And you even argue if Shad had fun writing this?
Yeah.
Oh, he definitely did.
Yeah, no,
Bringing
he
back an
absolutely had
early-
fun with this. What do you
Bringing
say,
back
it's a
an
high
earlier.
mortal or abused, neglected male reader tier story. It's more along the lines of abused and neglected male reader, but
Yeah.
like even that was strictly better. Because
It's like
abused and neglected male reader, the main character was abused and neglected, and thus like he had some level of reasonable justification, not very good ones, but like it was there.
No, he's abused, neglected because he does it to himself.
And the characters.
It's self-flagellation. That's why he's abused, neglected male reader.
Wait, in the original story or in this?
In this.
Yeah, no, absolutely. This is just like, this is woe is me, the fucking story. It's not, I'm going to get revenge because they did me wrong. This is, I want to be a good person now. Now I'm going to be the worst person on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
Bringing back like an earlier comparison I made, at least with Project Alpha, it was throwing so much. You never know.
What was
where
my
it's-
name? What?
This in comparison, this is just distilled fucking vanity right here.
It is.
I cannot agree with you more.
It's like, I was going to say, to clarify, those stories did not aggrandize themselves on the scale that this one does.
Yeah.
Like, for all the jokes I make about Auric sucking Dalen's dick, the person that's sucking it the most is Shad. And Shad is doing it on top of the fucking loser's podium. Like, that's what this is. He's at the bottom of, he's like in the third place podium getting the award for third place. And he's just showing off Dalen's gonads, however shrunk they are. I want him gone. Oh my god, Sego. Yes.
Amazing.
That's amazing.
Bro.
All right. Well, it is late. I've raged a lot.
manga
I'm
shading
tired. And the alpha pin still holds. Thank you all so
Alpha
much for
what?
joining us. We'll catch you all on the flip side.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Drink alcohol.